there. In this video we'll be covering, can someone write my life story? There are lots of people who can help you write your life story, and making the right choice could help save you lots of time, effort, and energy and money too. By the end of this video, you will learn how prevalent it is to get help with your writing, why ghostwriting could be the perfect choice, and the key elements to any successful writing partnership. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. Go into any bookstore and look around and pick up a book. Flip to the acknowledgments section. Look at the list of people credited with helping to write the book itself. They could be listed as coaches, consultants, friends and helpers. They aren't typically called ghostwriters in the writing. It will be an editor or a guide or someone who helped me gather my thoughts. Needless to say, all of these people helped with the writing process. The writing process typically isn't a singular individual pursuit. It can be, but with a lot of books, there are other people who can help. There are other people who can help guide that process forward. And even though we see an author's name on the cover, there are a lot of other people behind the scenes that are helping as well. When thinking about someone to collaborate with you to help you write your story, they need to have some level of writing talent, and they need to be somebody you get along with. Both of those things are crucial because this project's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take energy. You don't want to pick someone you don't like. You don't want to work with somebody you don't enjoy collaborating with. You know, as a book ghostwriter, I often will work with people who've worked with other ghostwriters and it didn't work out. You know, I'm the rebound. I'm the person that they seek out when things didn't work out the first time. And it's interesting how often it happens. But it's interesting when we can right the ship and build back trust and build back power and progress and take some of the rough points that they faced earlier in the other collaborations that didn't work and find the path forward. When thinking about collaborators, it's important to tap into your network. You probably know writers in your network, connections, first or second degree connections, that have this experience or could have this experience. Maybe it's not someone who has a lot of book experience. Maybe it's someone who's written press releases for a long time or has done interviews with thought leaders and CEOs. You know, maybe it's somebody who's been interviewed lots of times in media and they kind of understand the process of telling a story. Maybe it's a journalist. You know, I myself went from the daily newsroom to book ghostwriting, and a lot of the skills that I learned as a newspaper editor applied to book writing. Interview skills, writing skills, meeting deadlines, editing progress. All of these things were ingrained into me as a journalist. Day-to-day coverage of news events helped me to become a really strong and powerful ghostwriter. But it took time. But being able to apply those skills and then building on those skills with experience as a ghostwriter, you know, helped me really unlock my power in book writing. If you can find someone in your network to write with you, to collaborate on your writing project, you can look online. It's easy to find someone on Upwork and Fiverr, but for the kind of skill and experience that you need, that probably isn't the best avenue. Instead, I would pursue platforms where writers, book ghostwriters, and other kind of high-level collaborators gather. LinkedIn is a good place to look. Association of Ghostwriters is an organization that I am a member of that has a lot of great people connected to it. Gotham Ghostwriters is another platform for book ghostwriting. Another platform worth checking out is called Book This. It's bookthistalk.com, and it's a platform that I developed with a collaborator friend of mine, Isabella Talbot, and we just have a gathering place for writers, for coaches, for ghostwriters. And it's great to be able to connect with other people in this space and to be able to help each other out and tell the strongest stories possible. But there are places you can go to find established people. So you don't want to settle for people who are less experienced, who don't really understand how to tell a story. You want to find people who have experience telling a story, and there are some really good platforms for doing so. When thinking about who can tell your life story, ghostwriters are typically a great option. I'm a ghostwriter. I've been a ghostwriter now for 5+ years. And being able to connect with people and walk in their shoes and help them tell their stories is such a neat thing. I just feel like I can put on so many different hats and learn what people are going through, learn their pain points and struggles and opportunities and successes. I just feel like every project I work on is a new opportunity to provide storytelling expertise, and the people I work with are providing the life experience and the lessons and the stories. The more books I work on, the better I'm getting at being able to meet them where they are in terms of their expertise. I might not be an expert on this specific area of tech focus, but I've already written books in that space, so I kind of know where we're going or the story we want to share. Being able to explore these difficult intergenerational family stories and really telling something from beginning to end, it makes me stronger as a storyteller. So it's been great to see that. There's people in this space that are even more experienced than me who have been doing this for 10 and 20 years and ghostwritten hundreds of books. So I feel like there's still more to learn, but it's exciting to be able to provide storytelling impact to people who want to tell their story and to bring their story forward. When choosing someone to help you write your story, the right choice can be great for you. The wrong choice can be horrific. It can cost you lots of time. It can cost you lots of money. It can cost you lots of stress. Working with someone established is really about peace of mind. It's really about feeling confident in the person you're working with, that you don't have to check everything they do, that you trust that they're doing this the right way and the most powerful way, that they're not cutting corners. In today's world of ChatGPT and large language models, it's even scarier. What if someone just decides to write a book with ChatGPT that you don't know about, and it looks great, and then you publish it, and people point out that this was written with ChatGPT or plagiarized? There's so many different issues that you can encounter if you don't bring the right person on board with this project and you trust them in ways that you shouldn't. But at the same time, you don't want to have to check everything. You don't want to have to carry forward with the project with distrust. You want to trust that the person you're collaborating with is doing the right things, is saying what they mean, is being accountable, and is bringing high quality value to the storytelling of your project. When I think about picking the right person or the wrong person to tell your story, one specific person I collaborated with comes to mind. He had spent lots of money up front to work with a different ghostwriter, and month after month, they weren't making a lot of progress. The storytelling wasn't really coming together. He didn't feel like his voice was really coming through in the writing. He was frustrated. He felt a disconnect with his writer. He ended up calling me. We ended up working together and finishing his book, and it came out really well, but it was like night and day. But that process was difficult. When we made that transition and started working together, he was still operating in a state of distrust because he'd been burned before. So I really had to go above and beyond to earn his trust, and it's been a long time collaboration. It's felt great to be able to work with him, but it's a scary thing. I see the frustration in his voice and in his face when he was telling me about all the problems he was having with his ghostwriter. It's a horrible thing. So you really want to do your due diligence when bringing somebody onto your project. You want to talk to them beforehand. You want to interview their references. I've actually encouraged my potential clients to talk to previous clients of mine because I want them to understand what it's like to work with me. I want them to feel peace of mind and to trust that I can bring the best to their project and not have to worry. When bringing somebody on to work with your project, follow your gut. If something doesn't feel right, don't move forward. And think about it in terms of short-term progress to begin. You don't want to just sign up for a huge payment and then not get anything in return. Maybe you start with breakdown of milestones and you start paying them according to milestones that they deliver on. That can give you peace of mind. And if it's not working out, you can walk away with less cost, less impact, and less stress. If you want to learn more about finding someone to help you write your life story, head to my website, goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. There you can schedule a free one-on-one strategy call with me so we can actually talk through your story, talk through the path forward, see if I could be a good fit or if I can connect you with someone else who would be a great fit to help you, and you can just have the best path forward for your story. Remember, good ghostwriting makes great books. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.